Hello, freak bitches.
When they went and did that statement without notifying Dana White, my first tweet was like, "Oh, you thought he fucked
Wait,
up."
what they
Well,
did?
they really
Dana's gonna
fucked
go,
up. They
"Excuse me?"
said they were doing it for Conor McGregor, so they could get Conor McGregor and not have to test him.
What did they do?
That's what they insinuated.
Trying to make Dana look bad,
Which is not true because
true at all.
Conor McGregor entered into the USADA pool and supplied 2 tests so far. So they're wrong. What they said was wrong. He's not on anything. He's clean. They tested him.
I didn't know. What did USADA say? What did they say?
They said that the reason why the UFC is leaving this relationship with USADA was because they were trying to do something with Conor
like
McGregor.
bow down to Conor, and then they said it was a
Yeah.
money issue, which we know it's not.
His lawyer said he's the most tested fighter of all time in the UFC, as far as Conor McGregor is concerned.
A lot of these guys just bang way too much in practice. If you're training to fight, you have to fight in training. I think over the years, you definitely have one. We have one hard, solid spar day a week, and then more technical sparring another day with the big gloves on. Punching is hard. Well, I would accidentally drop guys a lot in practice because I didn't have control when I was, kind of new to the sport.
But back then, you guys had to kind of learn along the way, and as the sport evolved. I've always said this, that there's not a sport that you could ever point to that has evolved more since 1993 to 2023. It's just, when you think back, like as a pioneer in the sport, I mean, it's pretty wild what you guys did. Most MMA guys weren't, because it was so ridiculous. Not like in boxing, which we have a few every year. And they were trying to say it was more dangerous. To say that MMA is more dangerous, it's just ignorance.
I got nothing bad to say about MMA. If anything, it was positive things that made me tougher, made me, have more drive and with other things in my life.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, fortunately, I went through it fairly good.
No, you went through a great.
I think a lot of it was, and Randy's the same way.
After 10 years search, scientists find second short sleep gene. After a decade of searching, UC San Francisco scientists who identified the only human gene known to produce natural short sleep, lifelong nightly sleep that lasts just 4 to 6 hours yet leaves individuals feeling fully rested, have discovered a second. Fu led the research teams that discovered both short sleep genes, the newest of which is described in a paper published August 28, 2019, in the Journal of Neuron. According to Fu, many scientists once thought that certain sleep behaviors couldn't be studied genetically, and natural short sleepers remained a mystery until 2009, when a study conducted by Fu's team discovered that people who had inherited a particular mutation in a gene called DEC2 averaged only 6.25 hours of sleep per night. The finding provided the first conclusive evidence that natural short sleep is, at least in some cases, genetic, but this mutation is rare. Most MMA guys weren't, because it was so ridiculous. There was no deaths in MMA to speak of.
Right.
Not like in boxing, which we have a few every year.
Right.
And they were trying to say it was more dangerous. I'm like, I don't think it is. I mean, everything's dangerous. Even combat sports dangerous.
Right.
But to say that MMA is more dangerous, it's just ignorance. You just didn't understand what was happening.
No, yeah. I have heard that over the years. A lot of different things. And
Yeah.
I got nothing bad to say about MMA. I mean, I grew up as a wrestler, and kind of competing's what I've done my whole life, and I don't feel like it affected me in a bad way at all. You know, if anything, it was positive things that made me tougher, made me, you know, have more drive and with other things in my life.
Well, you're very fortunate that you came out of it on the other end, you know, healthy.
Yeah.
We know guys who haven't.
Right.
know.
No, I know.
There's a few guys that are pretty.
I'm not
busted
saying
up.
that it hasn't affected some guys, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, fortunately, I went through it fairly good.
No, you went through it great.
And I think a lot of it was, and Randy's the same way, just being smart in training.
Well, the real problem, and this is a very uncomfortable discussion, but the real problem is that drug prohibition has made criminals the only source of drugs. If you make drugs legal, all drugs legal, you're going to have a bunch of people that are doing drugs that wouldn't do drugs if they were illegal. Because if you think about the prohibition in the United States, prohibition of alcohol in the United States propped up the mob. The only people that were selling the alcohol were the people that were criminals. And until they got infiltrated and the mob got broken up, they for a long time, they reaped the rewards of the power that they started to develop during Prohibition. And that's exactly what you're seeing with the cartels. I think Jocko is just an animal.
Yeah, just must vary.
I think he
person to
likes
person.
being tired. I think he likes waking up tired and then pushing through it.
He's probably so used to suffering on a daily that just becomes his baseline. If he's not suffering, he probably doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, how many fucking go to his Instagram? How many photos are there of his watch?
Yeah.
At 4:30 in the morning.
He's got the
Just
worst
says,
but
"Go
best
time."
Instagram, but the worst Instagram. You're just like another watch photo. But you know he's getting after it.
Yeah. But, you know, what was the best part is when the best part was when
the blindness was the best part.
No, the best part is when the drug goes wrong and then you get to leave early because you don't have to stay for the 2 months. Like, this drug's too dangerous. We're not going to test it. And then you get paid for the full amount.
Wait. That makes no sense. The drug
does.
goes wrong.
Yeah. So like that one when they administered it and my whole arm went paralyzed, they realized they couldn't administer that drug to everyone else. So the trial got called off. But you got paid for the full month.
No long-term side effects?
No.
Oh, look at him.
Oof. I don't know. I've never really questioned it until you're looking at me like I'm crazy. Come on, man. What's it's just the drug
Well,
trial.
if you pay attention to drug trials and like
Yeah.
how many drugs get approved and then pulled because they find, I mean, that's just after approval.
Yeah.
And you're way before approval.
Yeah.
You're guinea pig.
I was a guinea pig.
He was the
That's so
guinea pig
crazy.
after the guinea pigs.
Yeah. It was yeah.
I love
Mice
it,
than
but
humans.
it's a little bit of a safety net to be like, oh, it's tried on hamsters before.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty dodgy, but it was the only way that I could make money.
Wait. No, it is crazy. Like, there was that famous case, I don't know if it was in where it was, but the patients, because they do it like in a row, they'll test one person and half an hour later test another, then another, right? And then people started dying off. And like they knew it was like going down the line because like someone died half an hour later. They died.
That was like a freak
Imagine being
example.
the last guy, and they go and they go, look.
Yeah, you're about to fucking die.
Yeah, look.
No,
there's this side effect. You're
How
probably
many
next.
people died?
Well, I don't know what story specifically this guy's talking about, but the trials that I was checking into, no one died. The worst one I heard of was they test it on mice before they test it on the humans, and they had to bring everyone back into the trial and say, hey guys, and I heard this from a friend that recommended the trials to me. He's like, guys, we don't want anyone to worry, but some of the mice have gone blind, and yeah, so everyone was sort of waiting to see if someone was going to fuck up their sight. But
And
everyone
this was after you'd already gotten the drug?
Yeah, well, no, it was a friend. This is a friend's experience. Yeah, they'd had the drug and they brought everyone back in like a week later, and they said some of the mice have gone blind.
Jeez.
Right.
I mean, they start airstriking cartels with jets.
Gnarly.
That's a wrap.
Yeah. Crazy. How crazy is that? How the fentanyl these days is mixed with trank, or it's trank. Have you heard of that?
What's trank?
I can't believe you haven't heard of this. Trank with a Q. So trank is fentanyl mixed with a horse tranquilizer. So the horse tranquilizer makes the fentanyl last much longer, is my understanding. Jamie's probably looking it up right now. But the trank is a horse tranquilizer. They mix it with fentanyl, I think, to make it last longer and make it more powerful. And the fucked up thing is it's so toxic, they all inject it. It's so toxic that it's so poisonous in your body that your body's trying to get rid of it. So it creates these massive sores where the drug is trying to get out.
I saw that in Russia.
Yeah, and people it's here now, dude, big time. People are getting sepsis and having to get their limbs amputated It's really, really gnarly.
Yeah. But, you know, what was the best part is when the best part was when
The blindness was the best part.
No, the best part is when the drug goes wrong and then you get to leave early because you don't have to stay for the 2 months. Like, this drug's too dangerous. We're not going to test it. And then you get paid for the full amount.
Wait. That makes no sense. The drug
does.
goes wrong.
Yeah. So like that one, when they administered it and my whole arm went paralyzed, they realized they couldn't administer that drug to everyone else. So the trial got called off, but you got paid for the full month.
No long-term side effects?
No.
Oh, look at him.
Oof. I don't know. I've never really questioned it until you're looking at me like I'm crazy. Come on, man. What's it's just the drug
Well,
trial.
if you pay attention to drug trials and like how many drugs get approved and then pulled because they find, I mean, that's just after approval.
Yeah.
And you're way before approval.
Yeah.
You're guinea pig.
I was a guinea pig.
He was
That's
the
so
guinea pig
crazy.
after the guinea pigs.
Yeah. It was yeah. Mice than humans.
It's a little bit of a safety net to be like, oh, it's tried on hamsters before.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty dodgy, but it was the only way that I could make money. Our producer reinvested all of our fees back into the film to make sure that we could get Sophie.
We got picked up from... So we got into Sundance Film Festival, which is like a really like prestigious film festival, one of the biggest in the world, Sundance. So we were getting contacted by like all the agencies, like all these big, you know, talent agencies. So when we got there, it was like this chaotic, like, everything was like the most fucking
It was the
surreal.
most overwhelming, and even all those emails, all these people reaching out, all these heroes of ours, or all these companies that you've seen so many products from, saying, "Oh, do you want to look at this?"
And like, man, there was all this hype around the movie before anyone saw it. I was like, man, I would have rather it be like no one knows, like you just go in not knowing, expecting anything. But there was this really high expectation going into it.
Our producer reinvested all of our fees back into the film to make sure that we could get Sophie.
We got picked up from... So we got into Sundance Film Festival, which is like a really like prestigious film festival, one of the biggest in the world, Sundance. So we were getting contacted by like all the agencies, like all these big, you know, talent agencies. So when we got there, it was like this chaotic, like, everything was like the most fucking
It was the
surreal.
most overwhelming, and even all those emails, all these people reaching out, all these heroes of ours, or all these companies that you've seen so many products from, saying, "Oh, do you want to look at this?"
And like, man, there was all this hype around the movie before anyone saw it. I was like, man, I would have rather it be like no one knows, like you just go in not knowing, expecting anything. But there was this really high expectation going into it.
Is it shocking that more people don't understand how dangerous that is?
I think some people understand.
Some people do.
Some people understand. So, I mean, from the standpoint of some of the people who used to be at Twitter, the people were like, well, it's a big shift to the right. That is correct. It is a shift to the right because everything is to the right if you're far left. Everything is to the right. But how many far left people have actually been suspended or banned from Twitter, now X? 0. So it's really just moved to the center, but from the perspective of the far left, it's moved to the right. It's like everything's relative.
The difference in moderation.
Sorry, I should say it propagated that far left philosophy not just to America, but to everywhere on Earth.
Right.
Yeah. Crossbow might.
I have a 90-pound compound bow that shoots 520 grain arrows at 300 feet per second with a
I think an arrow,
razor sharp broadhead.
We could try right now if you want.
I wish I had it with me. I don't.
Is it at your house or something?
Yeah,
Should we send someone to go get it? We could do the demo tonight.
that would be interesting.
Maybe I'll drive back with an arrow sticking out of my car.
I bet I could get in there.
Okay, I'll bet you can't.
Really?
Yeah, I'll bet you $1.
Damn. I'd like. Damn,
I think
wish
if you have a crossbow that's with enough force, you might a crossbow.
The thing about a
might
crossbow
get
is the
through.
bolt, even though it's very fast, it's not going to be nearly as heavy. You won't have as
but
many
can
grains.
You can make a heavy crossbow bolt.
You could,
Yeah.
yeah, but generally, crossbow bolts are considerably lighter. They're much smaller, you know, and they're much faster. They're moving at like 400, 500 feet per second.
The Quds, like the Iranian special operations guys, training and preparing Hamas, advising on how to execute this. How do they get the intelligence to know what direction they need to fly with their paragliders, which areas, which you don't think they had scouts in all the kibbutzes around Gaza to identify which houses they're going to be targeting. So then when Hamas launched their attack on October 7th, they had been funded. So like, we are at war with Iran, period. They are funding every single group that just attacked our American base in Syria, that attacked our American base in Iraq, that attacked and killed a bunch of Americans in Israel. That was funded by Iran and trained by Iran, right? And we are just not ready to fight this new type of war under these new rules of war, which is fighting non-state actors, fighting proxy wars, fighting corporations funded by governments, fighting cartels that are getting subsidized by governments, all to destabilize the greatest nation to ever exist in the history of mankind, us.
So, a philosophy that would be ordinarily quite niche and geographically constrained, so that the fallout area would be limited, was effectively given an information weapon, information technology weapon to propagate what is essentially a mind virus to the rest of Earth. And the outcome of that mind virus is very clear if you walk around the streets of downtown San Francisco.
And it's not just propagating the mind virus, but suppressing any opposing viewpoints.
Well, in order for the virus to propagate, it must suppress opposing viewpoint. It's a death cult. It is that they're propagating the extinction of humanity and civilization.
Right.
So the environmental movement, and I'm an environmentalist, has gone too far. I mean, this is going to sound somewhat melodramatic, but I was worried about that it was having a corrosive effect on civilization. That it was just having a bad impact. I think part of it is that it's where it was located, which is downtown San Francisco. And while I think San Francisco is a beautiful city, and we should really fight hard to kind of right the ship of San Francisco. If you've walked around downtown San Francisco, right near the ex-FKA Twitter headquarters, it's a zombie apocalypse.
But yet, somehow or another, there's this I stand with Palestine thing that makes you a progressive.
Go to Tel Aviv as a gay person. Walk around with your gay pride shirt with your husband or wife of the same sex. Nobody will bat an eye at you. Nobody cares. Everybody's like, what up?
Yeah.
Normal. Man, if she and her wife tried to walk down the road in Gaza, oh man. And it is so, this tinderbox that is that region with the West Bank, with the Golan Heights in the north, with Hezbollah, which is being supported by Iran. It's the weirdest thing that the Palestinians are allowing Hamas to literally kill them and pillage everything about their existence from them. Hamas is so rich and so $70 million from Iran. Every humanitarian ship that comes into the port, or right now that is being brought up through the Rafah Gate via Egypt into the south portion of Gaza, the moment that lands there, that is taken control of by Hamas. They then build underground infrastructure in the tunnels, and they build military infrastructure, and then they turn as whatever they can into rockets. And the humanitarian aid that is supposed to be distributed to the people, they have control of. They have to go. Not the Palestinians.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like I said, you could. We have a cool video we'll show at the handover event next month, which is emptying an entire magazine of a Tommy gun, which I think is like on the order of 50 rounds. You're just going full Al Capone, on the side of the car, shotgun, 9mm, 45.
And you built it like this just for fun.
Well, I mean,
because it's cooler.
I mean,
because you can.
Trucks are supposed to be tough, right?
Yeah.
So, is your truck bulletproof?
No, mine's definitely not.
Exactly.
And if I shot mine with my bow, it'd go right through it, 100%. 100%.
So, if you shoot any normal car, unlike in the movies where people hide behind car doors, A car door is basically very thin, mild steel. So if you shoot a gun at through like a regular truck, it'll go through both doors. So you can't hide behind a car door like they do in the movies. You know, way back in the day, dating myself, but the A-Team where they would like, you know, there'd be like bullets flying everywhere and they'd be hiding behind the car door.
Right.
That doesn't work. But it does in a Cybertruck.
He talks about it all the time.
He's got a good heart.
Yeah.
He really does.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
But
he told a story on this podcast about getting trapped in a cave while cave diving with this dude, and the dude panicked, and the cave got filled up with mud. You couldn't see anything. Even though he was right there and I knew he survived, like, it was one of the most fucking terrifying stories I've ever heard in my life, because he was running out of air and he couldn't figure out how to get out of the cave because it was all filled with silt. So he's like searching around for the opening to try to figure out how to get out.
yeah, that's an intense story.
Fuck. Thinking about his family, thinking about his kids and his wife, and he'll never see them again. He's going to die in this cave. Like, fuck.
But he's got that never quit attitude.
Yeah. And also, like, don't go cave diving with people who panic.
Yeah.
You know, just people who panic are dangerous.
Don't do anything with people that panic.
Don't do anything. Like, you have to experience panic many times in your life and figure out how to manage that before you start fucking around in caves. So we just shot an arrow into it, and it barely scratched it. Barely scratched it.
Yeah.
It was probably moving 275 feet a second. That was a 525 grain-ish arrow with, even more than that, because it had the 125 grain head, so that was 545 grains. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. It just destroyed the broadhead. The broadhead flattened at the tip, and then the arrow blew apart.
Yeah.